Hey, what's up, family? It's your homeboy Nino back with another video. So, I got a couple of things to get off my chest, and it's specifically about the NFL and sports right now. Ever since the playoffs have started, ever since the beginning of the season, all the way up till now into the Super Bowl. What is it with all these social media influencers coming out claiming to have the script for the NFL? My question is, how come y'all ain't billionaires by now? If y'all claim to have the script for the NFL, y'all should be placing bets with Vegas every week. And y'all should be getting rich off your bets. How come you're not driving around a Bentley? How come you don't have a big mansion? How come you don't have $30 million in your bank account or whatever? You don't have millions of dollars in your bank account. If y'all claim to have the script, why aren't you betting these games? If you know exactly what's going to happen. And I've been seeing a lot of influencers all over social media, all the platforms, claiming to have the NFL script, claiming to know what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. As you could tell, I'm an Eagles fan. I don't buy into any of that garbage, man, because y'all would be getting rich if y'all had the script to the NFL. That's just the bottom line. I know if I had the script, if it was real, I would definitely be getting rich. And there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there that claim with the whole Super Bowl logo thing, you know, how it's matched up for the last 4 years. Okay, maybe it's just a coincidence. I don't believe for 1 second the NFL is rigged. I really do not. I just think the better teams are getting to the Super Bowl, man. Honestly, if the script writers wanted certain teams in the Super Bowl, then how come the Lions are not in the Super Bowl this year? How come the Buffalo Bills continuously knock on the door year after year after year? They haven't won a Super Bowl ever. They haven't been to the Super Bowl since the 90s. It's been over 30 years since they've been to the Super Bowl. They're a great story, and so are the Detroit Lions. If y'all wanted a great script, why didn't you put the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl this year? You want to know why it's not scripted? Because they're not the best teams to get there. The Kansas City Chiefs beat them. Now, I agree that the Chiefs have been getting a lot of calls in their favor lately. I do agree with that. But I don't believe that the NFL is rigged by any means. I don't believe that for 1 second. But I know they want the Chiefs in there because of the whole three-peat story. You know, but if it was scripted, don't you think they would have wanted the Detroit Lions in there over the Philadelphia Eagles? And I'm an avid Eagles fan. I'm a diehard. I've been an Eagles fan for over 30 years, man. 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, man. We lost the first one to the Chiefs. Now we're going to get our revenge. Say what you want about that, but that's what I believe. And the so-called script of the NFL, if you're buying into that, you're just pathetic and you're a fool, in my opinion. And, you know, you're just naive, honestly. But the Detroit Lions were a great story all year. They've never won a Super Bowl in their whole entire history. They persevered. They were the first team to go 0-16. They were a 15-1 team this year, or 15-2, whatever it was. They were the best team in the NFC all year up until they got into the playoffs and got smoked by the Washington Commanders. Now, if the so-called NFL script was real, don't you think they would have beaten the Commanders? That's why I don't buy it for 1 second. And now the Philadelphia Eagles destroyed the Washington Commanders in the NFC title game to get to the Super Bowl. From a story aspect and a story arc, I think the Detroit Lions would have been a better story than the Philadelphia Eagles being in the Super Bowl, in my opinion, even though I'm a diehard Eagles fan and I'm saying that. I think it would have been, you know, the story of all stories. And then to see the Detroit Lions defeat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl or the Buffalo Bills would have been the greatest story ever. A team that goes from 0-16 to getting a throwaway quarterback from the Los Angeles Rams comes to Detroit and wins a Super Bowl. Don't you think that's a great story, people? Don't you think the Detroit Lions were worthy enough to win a Super Bowl with all them injuries that they sustained this year? 13 men on their defensive side of the ball got hurt, and they got all the way to the playoffs into the divisional round. The so-called script writers existed for the NFL, if there is a so-called script. Don't you think they would have wanted the Lions in the Super Bowl? This is what I'm asking y'all. That was a great story to run with if the script was real. I think they would have wanted the Lions over the Eagles in the Super Bowl if the script was real. That's just my point here. There is no script. There is no NFL rigging. I do believe that the refs do favor calls in games with particular teams, specifically the Kansas City Chiefs. But I do not believe the NFL is fixed to the point where there's a script that they go by year after year. Don't you think this would have leaked out by now? People tried to leak it out. Don't you think people would have gotten whacked? Because that would be the biggest scam in Hollywood and sports history if there was an NFL script. It would have gotten out. There's no way. With all these leaks coming out of Hollywood, with all these scandals going on in Hollywood, the way they've cleaned out Hollywood, going all the way back to Harvey Weinstein and all this other stuff going on in Hollywood. Hollywood is a new age. It's a new face, man. There's new people there running the show. These so-called elites are getting exposed, man. Don't you think this NFL script nonsense would have leaked by now? The NFL would be ruined forever if that was true and if it were to leak out. That's why I don't believe that there is an NFL script. And I do believe the Eagles are going to persevere next Sunday in the Super Bowl. Regardless if you think there's a script or not, I don't believe so, man. I'd really like to know your thoughts and comments on this because I've been seeing a lot of influencers on social media talking about this so-called NFL script. Okay, if you have the script, how come you're not getting rich? That is my question to you out there, these so-called influencers that know the script and supposedly have it in their hands. Why aren't you making bets? Why aren't you getting rich? I know if there was a so-called script, yeah, I would definitely be flaunting and showing off because I'd be making all kinds of bets to Vegas every week. But I don't believe that's the case, man. Y'all are bullshitting, man. Y'all need to stop lying. Y'all need to stop putting fake, bogus stuff out there. Well, I'd like to hear your thoughts and comments anyway, family. All right, I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.